Hello everyone, welcome back to StudyBuddy Code channel. Today we're going to be solving some SAT maths questions. So I'm going to be taking questions from this College Board's Educator Question Bank. So SAT, and I'm going to be solving maths SAT questions. And here for now, we'll be solving algebra questions. So I'm going to search them here. And for the difficulty, I'm not going to choose easy or hard. I'm going to go with medium. And I'm also going to check this box. What this box does is it, as the name says, it excludes active questions, which means that it filters out any official BlueBook full-length practice tests. So any questions that we'll be solving will not be in any BlueBook practice test you take, so that we don't spoil any of those tests. So we're going to be solving these questions in a certain way. So first, of course, we'll be solving one by one, and then I'm going to be reading the question first, and then I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try to solve it by yourself, and then we'll solve it together. So I'm going to be first calculating here on the whiteboard, and then later on show you how to solve it using Desmos, because usually solving with Desmos means that you get your answers really quickly. So if you don't know what Desmos is, I'm going to show you in a bit. So this is Desmos. You've probably seen it before in one of the BlueBook practice tests or on the official SAT test. So this is a graphing calculator that you'll be provided with, and this is College Board's version, which means that I think only some functions are removed, but mostly it's the same as the original Desmos website version. So I'm going to show you how to solve a question using Desmos as well, if applicable, of course. Okay, let's start solving this question now. Line K is defined by y equals negative 17 divided by 3x plus 5. Line J is perpendicular to line K in the xy plane. What is the slope of line J? So I'm going to give you a minute to solve this question. Go ahead and pause the video. Alright, let's start solving this now. Okay, so first of all, perpendicular here means whenever two lines are perpendicular, they make a that was not good. Hold on. They make a 90-degree angle. So a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that's what perpendicular means, just so you know. Alright, so and here we have been given the equation of line K, not line J. Please make sure of that. You have been given the equation of line K and not line J. However, they need the slope of line J. But what is the slope? So you should know the general equation of a linear function, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, m is the slope and b is the y intercept. I'm not going to write the full thing. Is the y intercept. All right, so m is the slope. So here we have been given the equation of line K, right? Negative 17 plus 5. Okay. Here the slope is, okay, m here is multiplying with x. So here, this is the slope. Let me choose another color now. Okay, so here, this is the slope. Now, okay, line J is perpendicular to line K. Why have we been given this information? Why is it important to us? Well, that's because there is a certain rule. That is, if line A is perpendicular to line B, Okay, if line A is perpendicular, if line A is perpendicular to line B, then the slope of line A will be the negative reciprocal of line B. So what is the negative reciprocal of anything? I'm going to turn this into a negative reciprocal. So that would be negative 1 over m. So basically, let me take a number instead of a letter. For example, 2. The reciprocal of 2 would be 1 over 2, because 2 here is being divided by 1, right? Because 2 divided by 1 is, well, 2. Anyhow, so 2 divided by 1 equals 1 over 2, because that is the reciprocal. So here the reciprocal means we're switching the numerator with the denominator and the denominator with the numerator. Okay, let me just say that again. We're exchanging the numerator with the denominator and the denominator with the numerator. Okay, and then we're also adding a negative sign. So that will be negative 1 over 2. Let's take another example. So, for example, if the slope of line A is 5 over 4. Okay, let's say that. The slope of line B, if they're perpendicular to each other, should be equal to, first of all, the reciprocal, right? Okay, the reciprocal, that's the reciprocal, and then the negative reciprocal, so that will be negative 4 over 5. Let's try from this side now. Okay, so this one, let's say 3 over negative 2. Okay, first do the reciprocal, negative 2 over 3. Now, negative sign. Well, since this already, has a negative sign, we are supposed to take out the negative sign now. So that will be 2 over 3. All right, so now let's come back to our question here. Okay, here we have the slope as negative 7 over 3, correct? So, since line J is perpendicular to line K, then this should be the negative reciprocal. So the slope of line K should be the negative reciprocal of the slope of line J, correct? So now let's find that out. Negative 17 over 3. First, let's take the reciprocal. 3 over negative 17. Let's do the negative sign of this. That would be 3 over 17. So that is the slope of line J. This is the answer of this question. We're going to be solving this with Desmos now. Okay, so can you solve this question using Desmos? Well, honestly, you need to know that rule, which I just said, that if two lines are perpendicular to each other, then their slopes are the negative reciprocal of each other. You're supposed to memorize that certain rule. So using Desmos, you can't really solve it. However, you can check your answer. So I've typed the equation of line K here. And I'm going to also type the slope we got by calculating. Yes, indeed, these two lines are perpendicular. So you can check this in a way. However, solving using Desmos, I don't believe that's possible. Personally, I remember that rule and I apply it and I check it using Desmos. That's for sure. You have to check if you have time in the exam, of course. So for this question, you can check your answer using Desmos.